You're so nice to me. You untangled me and you offered to sit in the wet spot. Holy moly, it's cold.
Yes, it is. Good morning, world.
Look at the sky. It's insane. So beautiful.
We're lucky fellers living here.
I had to bribe the valet to let me park my Highlander between the Ferrari and the Porsche. Where are we at, John? Why don't you tell the audience?
We're in beautiful Monarch Beach, also known as Dana Point, Salt Creek Beach, near the Ritz Carlton. Can I say that?
Yeah, of course you can. They should become sponsors. Start
That would be
funding.
nice. I'll take a room a month.
Funding the new laptop so I can actually edit all these 4K videos. So the episode 2, we've done one previously, the one with an orb on the side of my head. So hopefully we get a little bit better quality on this video. It's interesting. Last time I think I picked you up at 5 a.m. and said where we're going to shoot a video, and then we actually came and scouted this place yesterday. So I think we had some good prep, a good plan, and usually with a good plan you have a good outcome. So
We picked a nice location today. A little chilly though.
yeah, for sure.
We're low 40s.
We got the new lav mics working
Yes.
versus last time. So, well, we got sunrise coming. Man, this is awesome. Maybe to kick us off. So again, episode 2. Really enjoyed doing the last one. I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm having fun.
Yeah, it's a blast.
This is pretty cool. Just again, sharing the message. It's the reason we created this YouTube channel. But I thought maybe today we could go a little bit deeper. I think in the last video you mentioned, hey, maybe we focus on talking a little about the experience and maybe why we think we got it and what it was like and how we got there. But maybe first, I mean, wow, what a week, right? You had Lisa Marie Presley at her early 50s. You got David Crosby passed. You had the surfer pass right down here that both our kids knew.
Yeah, I went to school at Dana Hills High School with our 2 kids. Yeah, real good surfer. Just strange incident.
Yeah, just hit his head on a rock or something like that.
Yeah, very sad. And then, my neighbor, actually, my one neighbor who fell off a step stool and broke 3 ribs.
Oh, jeez.
Called me and said, "Hey, the other neighbor's on the roof right now in the rain, putting a tarp up. You won't believe this, And I went out and looked, and I saw him. I was like, wow. And then I went outside, didn't see him anymore. Thought he got down, and I could hear the cry of his voice.
Wow.
And I went running back there, and his wife was there. But anyways, he ended up breaking his femur in 5 places. So, yeah.
Just goes to show you, man. You need to have your stuff in order. People need to know how you feel about them, and I mean, there's no regrets in life because in a moment, I mean, shit happens, right?
Life is precious, and you've got to be careful.
Yeah, really underscores kind of what we've been talking about, which is relationships and really feeling with an open heart and acting, maybe more importantly with an open heart. But
showing your love every day to the loved ones around you, really.
Yeah. So when are you having the bacon and the breakfast sandwiches delivered? That's what I'm interested in, especially with my freezing fingers and my yummy tummy.
I'm waiting for security to show up and kick us out of here. So.
Yeah, well, hopefully it happens. It'll be good entertainment. Well, John, I don't know if maybe we just dive right in. What are your thoughts on? So I mean, maybe just to set the foundation. We didn't know what awakening was before.
I had no idea. I didn't even know what meditation was about. Right. I mean, I knew nothing.
I think we were walking Dexter in the harbor and talking about the power of. I think we found like a book, The Secret, or
The Secret.
maybe the wife told me about it, and she's like, I guess it was on Oprah years ago. And so I think we were talking about like, hey, just manifest more retirement money, or make more money to get a bigger boat, or whatever it was, whatever nonsense it was. But that's, I think, how we started down this path. And then I was kind of looking at like self-improvement stuff to better my business, and I'm, I think I posted a video yesterday trying to focus on a 3-part transformation. Like, what was our process, like in depth, literally going through my journal page to page. But so we started off, really selfishly, how do we make more money and have a more lavish lifestyle, as we sit here at the Ritz Carlton on the beach with $20 million homes right below us to the right. But and then we found so much more, and then that money stuff just
Peeled away.
yeah. I mean, you think that's accurate?
Oh, you nailed it, man.
So what, you go into med, and then it's just like this whole world opens up. It's crazy.
You find out that you have everything you need. We don't need anything, In
It's
fact,
so
that
true.
kind of became an obsession too, I think, for both of us.
Oh, when the fireworks started going off in the meditations?
Yeah, we were kind of like, I think you were ready to disappear and go live in a hut in the middle of the woods, and I was ready to buy a van and just travel and meditate on different beaches.
Yeah. Well, and maybe we'll back up in a second and talk about meditations and what we've tried and what worked. But when you have that awakening, and the process even to have that is, we didn't know about it. It's a huge mystery. The gurus say if you're seeking an awakening, you're not going to get it, because you've already identified yourself as someone who doesn't have it. So it almost makes the mind.
Wow.
It's a trick. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So maybe that's why it availed itself to us, or maybe I've just got so much trauma in my background, I'm just predisposed to have an awakening. But so if you want an awakening, you better go through a really hard time. You better have a really bad childhood and bad relationships or divorces, and then you're going to get your awakening.
Do you think you were a spiritually open person, to like receptive?
Well, so that's a great question, because we haven't talked about any of this, especially on camera. But I grew up in Texas, the Bible Belt. I grew up going to church 3 days a week. My dad's side was Southern Baptist. Don't drink, don't dance. Well, don't drink. My dad died of alcoholism. But my mom's side was Episcopalian. So that, the preacher and that, a lot more liberal. Smoking cigarettes, drinking a beer at the barbecue. So I had this juxtaposition, this difference between these hardcore Baptist religious right, and then these very liberal, still religious, but Episcopalians in Christianity, these different disciplines or sects or whatever you call it. But so yes, I grew up religious, but it drove me nuts to see the people that were the biggest advocates of church and at church, and I call them holy rollers. They were also the people that were just getting out the night before getting hammered. So it was this complete contradiction.
Hypocrisy.
So exactly, hypocrisy. So after, I had a challenging upbringing, and I kind of disappeared from the church, and I still don't go to church, just to be honest. But I always have had a deep sense of spirituality, and it used to be, like this hardcore fire and brimstone. If you don't believe in Jesus, and if you're not saved or baptized, then you're going to hell. I don't believe that. Personally, I don't even believe in hell anymore. I think it's all one. It's all love, and that manifests itself differently to different people based on what they need to see to find that. So whether it's Buddha or whatever God or the universe or the void or the divine intelligence, I think we get caught up in those words too much, or religious dogma, and I think it gives the ego a chance to criticize or judge or discredit everybody else. So it's always us versus them. Why can't it just be all of us? And you call God or whatever your higher religious power or your religious authority is, you call them whatever you want to call them. We just have different names for them. That's my 2 cents. I don't know what your thoughts are.
No, I do agree with a lot of that, and that I've always questioned, because I struggled with this, because you get those deep roots, and you're like, okay, because people on meditation, some people have some negativity towards it because they don't know what it's all about,
Yeah, like we've recommended meditation to people, and they've said, no, it's evil.
Yeah.
I was like, no, it's not evil.
It's the opposite of evil.
I've never been more connected to the divine than when I'm deep in a meditation.
Agree.
Feeling nothing but love.
Yep.
And bliss. So we've tried lots of different meditation styles, and the traditional transcendental meditation didn't work for me. And focus on an object and clear your thoughts and listen, just be in silence. That didn't work for me. But the guided meditation, once we started experiencing, and that's where you started because that's what I sent you, but man, when I did those first couple guided meditations, so it's got the ambient music in the background, and it's got, like Joe Dispenza is the one that really kind of cooked us in the beginning. His stuff is powerful. Those meditations are powerful. And I, like Jon Bernie's, I love. He really focuses on integration after awakening, like how do you take the spiritual tools and the things you learn and that deep meaning, and then how do you apply it in the real world so you don't live in a cave forever. But so he's got some good guided meditations. So to me, those are the ones that are the most effective. Do you agree? Have you tried the others? Or?
No, I haven't deviated really off of, like you introduced me to Jon Bernie, and I like the balance of Bernie.
Yeah.
Kind of, Dispenza goes into the science of it, which is really interesting and intriguing.
Yeah.
But let's face it, he's on a whole different planet than you and I.
Well, so it's funny. Like even in this the transformation video I posted yesterday, I feel like we have touched. I know I went pretty deep, but I've looked at like Rob Dass way back, the guy that took LSD to have spiritual experiences, which we're not advocates of. Adashanti, I think he's a peer of Jon Bernie. Some of the Buddhist kind of studies, and the Zen Buddhists that stare at a wall for 10 hours, and that's how they meditate, and really, disciplined way of controlling your thoughts. But like even Dispenza. So I guess my point is, you see all these different experts, these gurus, and their different approaches, and then you take what works, and then you take what works, and then you take what works, and you leave what doesn't resonate, because we've talked about, you have to take, there's so many different approaches and different ways. I was going to say to skin a cat, but that's probably not too positive. There's so many different ways that you can approach, and there's a lot of similarity in all of it. Like Dispenza, I feel like just took all of this traditional approach of these different people. He removed the religious component because he doesn't want people. He wants to have more people to accept it.
He doesn't want judgment.
Yeah, but even his meditations are about like manifesting. You can, if you can see it and you can feel it and you can make it a certainty in your mind in meditation, you can bring it to you, especially like riches and money. And I think I didn't really connect as much on that front with him.
Yeah, I struggled with that quite a bit, where, there's teachers like Eckart Tolle, who is just all about the present moment, where
Right.
Dispenza is all about the future.
Another great reference to someone that
Really like him.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he balances it out with different religious aspects, including the Bible,
Yeah, I sent you somebody the other day, and I think that represents something that I don't really love about what we're doing and the people we follow. And I think there's a tendency, let me know your thoughts on this. There's a tendency, like we talk about being present, no thinking, no doing, don't push the river. let it flow. And that's when I'm at my best. You know, not in the past, not in just present. Meanwhile, you have these gurus or these guys that have been enlightened, or girls, guys, they've been enlightened for 10 years. And then it's this endless mental gymnastics about what is the state of being, and am I the subject, and is that the object, and what am I, and who, where, I mean, they tend to go in circles about the words you use and the process, and is this real? You know, is my perception real? Is that cloud there? Is that tree really right above? You know, and to me, that just, it's like, really?
Yeah.
I think you're missing the point.
Yeah.
This is about love and deeper relationships and trusting there's a plan and it's unfolding.
Yep.
And we're not doing anything. Like I love that Jon Bernie said, you're not doing anything. This is a natural evolution. We were meant to go through this because for some reason we needed it, or the divine meant us to have it, whatever the reason is. And maybe we've talked about judgment. Like, oh, I'm awakened, you're not. Or and I hope people didn't get that from the first video.
And let's face that.
Yeah.
You and I have never had that thinking or attitude.
Yeah.
If anything, we've shared this with people. I mean, I've shared it all the time because the experience blew my mind.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm never going to judge somebody. Now, do I get judged? Yeah. First thing they say is, are you taking drugs now?
Yeah. Well, you know, we're shooting YouTube videos because it was such a powerful change, at least for me in my life. And I use the woo-woo words a lot, the hippy-dippy words, transformation and, identification and integration. But at the end of the day, like, it really did. I mean, it was like flipping a switch, and I was struggling, and I didn't know inner peace and happiness, and nothing was ever good enough, and I was the victim of my mind. And if you can find something, by the way, what do you think from beginning to end? 4 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks between we really went deep in those meditations and when you felt the awakening? What's that time frame?
It might have even been less than that. I don't know. It was a process, and you were good about journaling. He's the organized one. But I wish.
Because I can't remember shit.
I wish, yeah. And by the way, all the videos that he's doing for self-help, I'm going to tell you right now, journal this. If you're just starting out, journal everything. There's my crow. They love me. I don't know what it is. I knew that was going to happen. I just felt it.
It's because you did a short about them. Yeah. Crows are evil.
But anyways, journal everything, because the experience is going to blow your mind. It really is.